Good morning, Ed Drost.
Good morning, Stephen. Yeah, it's been a little, we took a little break over the Fourth of July holidays, but
Yep.
back at it, and we have another testimonial from an RN, and we're talking about 3 Wellness,
Mm-hmm.
and basically we're just going to keep it short and sweet today. Just let the young lady tell her story about 3.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you.
Now, the next person I want to go to is also another registered nurse. Her name is Cassie Havel. She is from Giddings, Texas. She has an incredible testimony using these products, and I would love for her to share more about her story and how these products made an impact in her life.
Well, hey, 3. So like Lauren said, I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I spent the first almost 21 years in modern medicine. And like people have touched on here with healthcare, over time, I just started questioning whether or not, there was something missing. I felt like there was something missing in healthcare. And I think that was the ownership of somebody's own health. What I felt like I was doing in healthcare was we were waiting for people to have a health crisis, and we were trying to fix that. We weren't actually helping them facilitate a better optimal health so that they could have a better quality of life for longer. I'm a mom of 4. My kids are all grown. I have 1 grandbaby and 1 grandbaby that's going to be due in September. My husband and I have been married for over 18 years, and in our mid-30s, he had a health crisis. Again, we were healthy until we weren't healthy. And honestly, it's like my whole life changed in an 8-hour period that I was at work. So the idea of health and wellness wasn't something that I was accustomed to. We were just healthy people. So I never thought about doing things proactively, like taking vitamins, unless I had been pregnant. Those things never ever crossed my mind. And all of a sudden, when you no longer have that, and when there's an industry that you've spent over 20 years in, tells you that there's absolutely nothing that they can do to help you, that this is going to be your life. And my husband, although he recovered after 8 months of PT and OT, one thing that didn't come back was his cognition. And basically, they just told us that I should just be happy that he resolved as much as he did. And that started leading me on a path of looking for alternatives. And about 4 years ago, I decided that I no longer wanted to spend my time in modern medicine. I wanted to spend my time educating on how people can take more ownership in their own health and how they can do things every day that can help them live a much longer and more quality of life. So for me, if we're talking about my specific favorites, I'm going to talk about Eternal. Okay, because I'm 46. I am a woman that one day I was very cold natured and I was always cold. And then the next day I started having these very significant hot flashes. I would wake up in a pool of sweat at night. I started feeling like I did when I was a teenager, where I was extremely moody. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back every single day. Like everything that popped up that didn't fall exactly right in my life, I was yelling about, irritable about, extremely moody, sometimes really not even wanting to get off the couch. And then other days I was like over the moon, throwing things away because, the house was dirty. And what I found with the Eternal is that after I had taken it for a couple of days, the hot flashes lasted a lot less. The night sweats weren't as intense. And as it kept going on, I no longer have hot flashes at all. Very rarely do I have night sweats. And that only happens if I've forgotten to take the Eternal for multiple days in a row. And I know right away that I've missed it. My grandson, I have him, we started doing the Eternal because I have 2 cats that I absolutely adore, Ed and Wanda. And when he would come to the house, he would all of a sudden his eyes would start watering. And I just took the chance and just thought, well, let's just see what happens. And so he started taking the Eternal, and right away before all the watering stopped. And now when he comes in the house, he reaches for it right away because he knows his eyes aren't going to water if he drinks that. My other one is Purify, and this is strictly for my mom. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how many of you are empty nesters, but it didn't really hit home for me until I became an empty nester. But my mom, when we all moved out, she started just becoming a parent to all of her animals. And she has this one wiener dog that was really in poor health. And they were taking him into the vet all the time. And I still remember it to this day, where the vet was like, hey, this fatty liver is getting really bad. He's sleeping all the time. He looks like he's in pain. I really think we need to think about, maybe it's time. And I remember my mom calling me about it, and I was like, well, what can it hurt? Let's try some Purify, because it detoxes all the 5 excretory systems. So let's see what happens. And within 2 weeks, his liver enzymes were normal. And that's just crazy to me, how just feeding the body what it needs helps resolve. It would have really been catastrophic for my mom. So those are my 2 favorites.
I wanted to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Shanna, I want you to chime in on this, but Cassie, I have traveled the world with you. I have listened to you a ton speak and bring education and awareness to this product line. Tell me, there are 4 things that you always say when you're looking at wellness and you're, trying to heal your body naturally. What are those 4 processes that you always talk about that this line addresses, in your opinion?
Right. So again, we're not saying that we're curing anything, but what I am saying is that there are 4 things that cause almost every disease process out there: malnutrition, toxicity, inflammation, and oxidation. And if you can get to the root of those 4 issues and combat it, you will notice that there is a lot less symptoms. Because remember, a diagnosis is just a group of symptoms that is connected to labs and radiology results, and voila, there you have a diagnosis. And so in the end, it doesn't necessarily have to be cured, but what you want as a person is to not have the symptoms that are affecting your quality of life. So those are the 4 things, and I call them the foundational 4 that I always recommend when somebody's like, hey, what do we do for this? And I'm like, well, let's combat those 4 things.
What are your thoughts on that, Shanna?
It's so true. Traditional healthcare is giving you medication that's just going to put a Band-Aid on those. It does not go to the root cause. So when you're able to address those root causes, your whole life will change. Your symptoms may get better with whatever medication they prescribe, but I can almost guarantee you will either have an additional symptom as a side effect, or not all of your symptoms will be addressed and you still won't feel too much better, which is really sad. And I absolutely hate saying that, but it's the honest truth.
Well, thank you so much, Cassie, for jumping on, sharing your testimonies, highlighting those specific products, and giving us incredible value.
Okay.
Unmuted it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was good stuff. I mean, makes sense, right? I mean,
Yeah. I'm going to have to, she went through the 4 things so quickly. I'm going to have to review those because it's really very simple. Like she said, I mean, it's 4 things that cause most issues in people's lives, malnutrition, I think inflammation,
right.
Toxicity, and, getting proper things. And I got my lawn guy going by.
Oh. All right, you're muted. Okay, so I'll talk there for a second there. Yes, no, I mean, it's interesting to hear her boil it down to something so simple. And you would think that on that basis that the traditional medical establishment would be able to focus more, again, on preventive care and on looking at, what can we do to avoid these symptoms, these conditions, rather than just, wait till something happens and then try to react to it. And we're dealing with that with my mother's health right now. So yeah, I mean, it's refreshing to hear someone who is a medical professional that has flipped their view around to rather than be reactive, let's be proactive. And it's a lot of opportunity to make that kind of a difference in people's lives in a much bigger way. And that's one of the main things that I'm super excited about with not only our products with 3, but also the business itself, and being able to share the business with other folks who can then share this information on a more widespread basis with the people in their lives, and so on and so forth. So it's it's a great. The products are phenomenal. I can attest to that. Broke my toe on Sunday, and I've been taking my Revive every day, and trying to get it back. And I was just coming down the stairs a little while ago. I'm like, wow, it actually doesn't hurt today. So got it taped up, and it needs to be ready for the father-daughter dance for my daughter's wedding on Saturday night. But with that said, we'd love to share some more information with you guys about our business opportunity to share and to make a plan B or a side income. The entrepreneurialmovement.com, temovement.com actually, is where you can contact Ed Drost, or myself, Stephen Rieker, on social as well. And we'd love to share a little more information that might be really useful to you and the people that you love. And appreciate you taking the time out to join us today for a little bit, and we'll be back. So I think that covers it for now, so we don't have to listen to Ed's lawnmower.
He must be down the way, so I'll sign off here before he comes zipping on by. So
I got you.
Anyway,
Perfect.
Yeah, here he comes. So
all right,
hey, everybody, have a great day.
Thanks, you guys as well. Ed, we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks, my friend. Bye now.